as long as you're not like, hey, quesadilla, am I right? You know? Also, everything is okay in the proper context, right?
Hey, case.
Everything is okay in the right context, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even on that level, there's some shit with context you have to get around now.
Yeah.
But
It's just like intuition. It's your wisdom stat, basically.
Yeah, and my intuition is telling me that this is episode 27 of the podcast.
Oh, are we doing another
we're
one?
recording.
Talking about things that we don't really know. This is the Pogcast. Return of the king to attack of the clones. This is the Pogcast. It makes no sense, and that's what we're here for. This is the Pogcast. Like and subscribe if you wanna see more. This is the Pogcast.
Hey, quesadillas. Am I right? Welcome back to this episode of the podcast.
Is that the name of this episode? Hey, quesadilla?
Yep, we're
Yes.
calling this episode Hey, quesadillas. Am I right?
All right, great, cool.
Yeah.
Roll the intro.
We've already done that.
I know.
Okay.
Being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I got an
how's
idea for the series. 5 minutes on this one.
yeah, let's do it.
Is the intro over yet, or do we still not know?
No, the intro's been not over. No, the intro's been over for quite a bit.
Oh, well, this is awkward.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm
So
hungry.
anyway,
I haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Yeah.
I was watching some stand up the other day. I love stand up.
It's awesome.
And
You seem like the type.
yeah. I love stand up and R-rated comedy, and it fits. And basically they brought up an interesting point. I can't remember who I was watching. It might have been Jim Jeffries actually, but he brought up an interesting point, which was that a comedian makes a joke, and their job is to go right up to the line of being offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Their job is to go right up and hug that line. But the issue is that line moves so much that it's really hard to keep track. And
Yeah.
in that profession, because there's been a lot of comedians that get shit for jokes they've made in the past. I mean, I've seen that happen. And I mean, hell, I've had it happen to me with just stupid jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And you make a joke and you go right up to the line, but then the line moves back here.
Yeah.
And suddenly that joke is offensive.
But also, like, I definitely think there are a lot of people, especially on the internet, that are getting angry for the sake of getting angry, getting angry because they don't really have anything better to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but also,
bored.
there are some people that, like, actively, like, it's like, it depends. I definitely think people overreact, but I also think that the people that are like, oh my god, cancel culture is like ruining our society are also overreacting because it's
Everyone's
really not
overreacting.
that big a deal. I just don't understand why people care so much.
Yeah, it's either the people on Twitter or on Reddit. The people on Twitter are the ones that are reacting to what the person's saying, and the people on Reddit are reacting to people reacting to what the person is saying.
And then the people on Twitter are reacting to the people, and then it's just
and then it's the
whole
people on
fucking
Discord
thing.
making fun of both of them.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it's like Tumblr gets involved, and then
Tumblr is
4chan sees that
Tumblr
Tumblr
even a
gets
thing
involved.
anymore?
Not really. Okay, let me rephrase that. And then 4chan gets involved, and then Tumblr sees that 4chan's
Then
involved.
TikTok starts
They've
making
been like, and then
jokes about it.
TikTok is.
Then people
TikTok.
start making YouTube videos like ours about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Bottom feeder
so I
content.
just don't understand why people give a shit.
You know,
Right.
I think it's funny because if we kind of look at the world and the way that things are working right now, it's somewhat evident that a lot of people are just bored and choosing to get angry at things, like you were saying.
Mhm. But I think that
And-
we should also remember that we are 3 white dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's what I was saying, is that like you can definitely go too far,
Yeah.
but also like a lot of the stuff. So like for example, J.K. Rowling. Don't really know what happened there, but I feel like a lot of the stuff, it wasn't like overreacting or anything like that, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
an
Versus
overreaction.
like, some random dickhead who made a shitty joke 6 years ago
Yeah.
for a cheap laugh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, because it's funny to me because I've about said before, I've grown up with an immense level of sarcasm in my family,
Yeah.
and time moves on, and you got to realize how to grow out of that. But there's a level that I've always wondered with comedy, and especially stand-up, because those people have to tell the same jokes to 100 different audiences. Now,
hmm
a lot of times, even if that's an offensive joke, some people are going to genuinely laugh, and then some people are going to
Yeah.
laugh and go, I mean, they shouldn't have said that. And
Yeah.
and it's always been odd to me because it's a little bit cliche, but there's a level of the world where it's like, why can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Like,
I think the intention behind it is the thing that changes it from, at least in my opinion, as a, white dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like, were you like trying to be clever and like playing off of a socioeconomic, inequality or something like that? Or were you just like when I was a small child, me and like my friends would like go off into a corner, make sure that there were no adults around, and go, fuck. Like, ha 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 ha, ha, we weren't supposed to say that. Is it that kind of comedy, or is it like clever? Is it like, oh, he wasn't supposed to say that, and that's why that's funny, right? Just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
saying like why white kids say the N-word, basically.
Yeah, I never understood that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, it's that kind of like, I wasn't supposed to say that. I'm being a bad boy. It's like,
Okay, yes, in private, when I'm around a specific grouping of friends that I know and trust, I'll occasionally quote Kevin Hart. But I don't understand why kids
Prepare
do
to be
that
canceled.
just to be, yeah. Look, I'm not doing it to be offensive. I'm doing it because, he's funny and I respect his humor. But yeah, it is funny because because comedy as a general, as I've been growing up, I've been able to watch as a lot of comedy goes from being a certain type of offensive to a new type of offensive, or in some cases, just not offensive at all. And I think what it really boils down to, especially with stand-up, is everybody has their own taste in what they find funny. And then see, this is why I have a lot of respect for stand-up comedians. They have to find a joke.
Yeah.
That
That'll
is
work for
funny
everyone.
to everybody.
But everyone will feel like they're in on the joke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a comedian that does that really well, his name's Russell Howard. He has a 1-hour show in the UK. And he's so funny because he has this way of telling jokes and making everybody feel like, oh yeah, no, we're in on the joke. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's like your
Anyway.
friends
Yeah.
and you're just some in joke. Yeah.
it depends from situation to situation.
I make blanket statements.
Yeah. One person that I find is really good at
Besides
that
the blanket
is,
statement that you can't make blanket statements.
yeah, that's like, only Sith deal in absolutes. Also, I feel
Yeah.
like that was our serious 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Probably,
okay.
right?
Yeah. Our
That was
serious
like a
5 minutes,
serious
so
10
far.
minutes, but yeah,
I've broken
only
it with
Sith
that quote.
deal in absolutes.
Yeah.
Obi, just that
Cool-
was
cool it-
definitely an
Yoda.
absolute.
Cool it.
Just gotta mention.
Cool it, Obi-Wan.
Anyway,
Except
back
for me
to
in
a
this
less-
situation.
Let's go back to a less controversial topic.
Yeah.
The sequel movies in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh god.
You said less controversial, dude.
Yeah.
Also, what is that thing behind you?
What thing?
The
that?
brown furry thing.
This?
No,
Or
different thing. Brown furry thing.
This?
Yeah.
This is a stuffy that I've had since I was very small.
Oh, I thought it was like a
Yeah, take off my
Sasquatch
sweater.
posing like they're lying down on a beach. It kind of gave that look for some reason.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you guys actually want to talk about the sequel movie?
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
to.
Also,
Hey,
let's
Come on,
talk
let's
about
get some
prequels
let's get some
while
dislikes
we're
on
at
these
it.
videos.
They could have been so good.
Yes,
They
they could.
could have, and then they
Mhm.
weren't. They were like mediocre at best with good
They're
visuals.
not bad. I will say
They're
that
not-
they're not
they're
bad.
They're
not
not
bad.
bad, for sure.
But they're not
bad.
good.
Yeah,
They're just mediocre at
Yeah.
best.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching all the Star Wars movies, they're okay, but
Like okay,
I mean,
the
I think
prequel
that
movies
all
were
of the
bad.
Star Wars movies. I think the prequel movies are the best of the Star Wars movies, and all of the Star Wars
lukewarm
movies
take
are
there.
way overrated.
lukewarm take.
Okay, I do agree though with that. Star Wars is a little bit overrated.
Yeah, I agree with
The
that.
Star Wars movies are overrated.
Yeah. Okay, you're going to
Clone
start
Wars
going on.
The most
and
Everyone get your drink
Rebels
ready. Get your drink ready.
are excellent.
Drink.
I will leave it at that.
Okay.
the most enjoyment I've gotten from a Star Wars thing was the animated Clone Wars show that they put out for I think it was
Yeah.
like 6-7 seasons. I
Yeah.
love that show.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
Oh
sit-
yeah, for sure. Have you watched Rebels?
Oh yeah.
Oh dude,
Mm.
Like
fuck yeah.
what
Those
I have
are
to say
amazing.
is that this is my lukewarm take. The best Star Wars thing ever is the Star Wars
You're
Lego
treading
video
on
games.
Ooh, those are
Those
pretty
were
good.
the best thing Star
That-
Wars related
I would
ever.
say
Yeah, okay,
I would say
that's-
that's a lukewarm take.
Yeah, those are the best.
That's like
those are better
okay.
than any movie or TV show Star Wars ever made.
Have you ever watched Star Wars: The
Hmm.
Clone Wars though?
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Star Wars Rebels?
I've watched one episode of Rebels.
was okay. Did you think Rebels was better or Clone Wars?
I think Clone Wars.
Well, you only watched one episode. You can't say anything. I would say the thing is that Clone Wars got to the same level as where Rebels like peaked at, but Rebels had higher lows, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
like
lower
their
lows.
the
were-
the Siege of Mandalore arc is some of the best TV I've ever watched ever.
Mhm.
But the Zika virus, or the fuck is it called? The blue not the fucking
yeah, that
what's
thing.
that with the
In
weird
Naboo,
doctor dude on
That was
Naboo
just-
with Jar Jar Binks. That was fucking awful.
Yeah, that was
Speaking
really
of Mandalore, I think the Mandalorian was a little overrated.
Same, yeah.
To be honest, yes, but it was good, but it wasn't
good.
as good. It was really
was
good, but it
really
wasn't.
good.
I found
as
it
a-
funny that in like 20 minutes, Mayfly, is that his name? That ex-stormtrooper dude
Yeah.
in 20
Oh, yeah.
minutes got a better ex-stormtrooper arc
Oh, then
than
Finn.
Finn or the
Oh,
main character,
Finn.
Finn
Yeah.
and the main character of Star Wars Battlefront 4 or whatever combined.
Like poor Finn. I mean, he literally
Poor
he had
Finn.
3 movies and he did not get any character arc. He just started off
He-
as an
again,
ex-stormtrooper and ended up as the comedy character that wasn't even funny.
Yeah,
Had so much
like
potential.
he could have been like an ARC trooper that
Yeah.
was like indoctrinated,
Yeah.
super indoctrinated, and then like, had a turn of heart, escaped, and that's why he
Yeah.
was able to like keep up with
Yeah.
Kylo Ren in the
Yeah.
lightsaber scene because he's like trained with the electricity
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead he's a janitor
He's just some
for
random.
like a
He's
one-off
just some
joke.
random dude
Also,
that
Yeah.
happens to be a stormtrooper. That's like, I don't like this. I'm just going to try to fly away.
if he was a janitor, why was he able to like, why was he in combat?
Oh, he started off as a janitor, then climbed his way up the ranks to random stormtrooper.
Random stormtrooper number 11169,420.
So wait,
I guess.
if you can
167.
climb up the ladder as a janitor, if I am a janitor at Apple, can I eventually make CEO?
Yeah. Does
Uh,
Finn eventually just become
Apple mop.
the eye mop?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
vacuum.
like Rey could have been cool because she was
Yeah.
like the first time you ever saw a non-Jedi, non-Sith character, and
Yeah.
instead she just became all of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I am all of the Sith, and I am all of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Mr. Person that died fucking 30 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Though I did predict that, like a year before that, like 2 years before that movie came out, that according if you follow the actual books.
The prequel movies were shit, but I actually liked them a lot more than the sequel.
Me too.
I think
Yeah.
that Revenge of the Sith is the second best Star Wars movie.
I would say that for me, Revenge of the Sith is potentially like the. Here's an actual lukewarm take. No, I've already done lukewarm take, so I'm just going to say this. I think that I would think of the like prequel movies on the same like level as the original movies, if it wasn't for the guy that played Anakin.
Yes.
I
just
didn't
cringe.
think yeah,
Like
well,
sand.
he was acting a school shooter.
Yeah.
That's the character that
Like
he's acting, right?
Yeah, I guess so, but it's
think
just
he played
so-
the role really well, but at the same time, there was a bit which was like, okay, he didn't play it perfectly, but I don't know how the fuck I would have played that.
Definitely, it wasn't like,
They should have
I
just-
could have done better. It was like, I think he did his best.
He did his best, but
I think the best portrayal of Anakin was Clone Wars.
yes, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
They should have just tried to do something
They made
like that.
him really, really go through the good guy, the bad guy arc really well.
And the Clone Wars makes the prequels better.
Yes.
Because, like, without Ahsoka
It's everything that happens
leaving-
between those two movies.
without Ahsoka leaving and like all the shit that he goes through,
I didn't actually make it that far because I stopped watching for whatever reason.
oh well, you should watch the Clone Wars.
I should,
it only
yes.
gets better with
I
both
should watch that.
both Rebels and the Clone Wars. It only gets better. Also,
Nice.
Rebels has maybe the best bad guy out of any Star Wars thing.
Mhm.
Like any.
I agree.
Thrawn is awesome. If
Is that your
Palpatine
lukewarm
had,
take?
yeah, I think that's a cold take. Anyone
Okay.
anyone who knows about Thrawn is like, yeah, Thrawn's the greatest. He's fucking awesome. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Thrawn's
he's my
awesome.
favorite bad. Oh, he's my favorite at being worst.
Yeah, Thrawn's fucking epic, dude.
Yeah.
Also, I loved the like fucking thick sexual tension between Obi-Wan and Asajj Ventress that happens throughout the show.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
It's great.
I forgot about that actually. That was great.
Oh, I think River might have just died.
Yeah. Rest in peace, dude.
It's been fun, my friend.
It's been fun. Need to get a new person on Phila's position. Saplo, would you be interested?
Why are you saying that like he watches this?
I'll DM him this video, like I do with all our videos.
Still haven't watched one.
Yeah. I'm gonna start DMing them to you then.
Maybe you do DM them to me occasionally.
No.
But maybe I'll watch the like 100th one. But other than that, like if we reach 100 episodes, I'll watch that one. Other than that, I'm not going to watch.
Any.
Big if, but
Yeah.
it gives us a goal that I
Yes.
actually have to watch one.
Yeah. At some point.
At
So
some
Rivers isn't
point.
here
River
anymore.
is all right. Well,
He's deceased.
What a character, huh?
Yeah. Crazy guy. Huh, so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's a zombie. He's come back to life.
He's
He's
back.
the friendliest zombie ever.
Somehow, River has returned.
To
I'm back. My internet
Yeah.
completely went to shit.
I feel ya. Yeah.
Anyway. So
Yeah.
what I miss?
Not much. Also, Chopper is the greatest astromech of all time.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, actually, I've showed you.
Yeah. he's the
River, do you
best.
know about Chopper
Wait, from
from Rebels?
Yeah, yes.
And
yeah.
how he swears like a goddamn sailor?
Yeah.
Dude, me and my dad only noticed that right at the end, and it was my dad because we watched both Clone Wars and Rebels together.
Mhm.
And it was my dad that noticed it first, and then I was like, hey, yeah, he is saying stuff. And yeah, fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah. You know,
Wow.
I feel like the best type of cursing in a show or movie is when you don't even realize it's there.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
also
sense.
like the kind of like fantasy made up cursing.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, like personally, I
Like in Lord of the Rings.
aside from Clone Wars and Rebels, I've actually always preferred Star Trek to Star Wars.
To be honest, yeah.
In particular, the new ones they did with Chris Pine in the new timeline.
Oh yeah,
I
those
really
those
like
I'd say those are probably the
weren't
best Star Wars
bad.
movies they've made.
yeah,
Star Trek is better as a TV show.
yeah.
Not many people.
That's a hot take.
Star Trek is better as a TV show.
Okay,
Next
but
Generation is the best
imagine-
thing Star Trek has ever done.
Oh, wait, hold on. What are you saying?
Star Trek.
Yeah, I know, but Star Trek is better than the Star Wars TV
No,
shows?
no, I'm saying that
okay,
Star
never
Trek
mind.
is better
Yeah,
as a TV show
that's
than a
that's
movie.
definitely a cold take. Even.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
But like seriously, Next
Like,
Generation.
can you imagine if they did Chris Pine and the new crew's grouping, that new grouping of people, but as a TV show as opposed to movies? Like I would enjoy
that would be really good. Yeah.
so much.
That would be amazing. Because and they could like maybe even like touch on like maybe one or two, like pay homage to some of the original episodes of that series.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Tribbles.
I have
Yeah.
never watched. I think I've watched a collective like 3.4 Star Trek episodes.
Dude, just Next Generation is like one of the best TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
There's some serious 80s cringe in it, but if you look past that, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But start at season 3.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
Because
more than
at
all
season 3 or season 4, because the first couple seasons they're just really trying to figure it out, and there's very cringy lines like "We're in beaucoup trouble."
All right, I guess I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
I
seriously,
remember
yeah,
that. Oh god, I remember that.
beaucoup trouble.
Yeah.
That's the best line of the entire thing.
Yeah, I watched all of Next Generation and I really enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I still
unfortunate
don't think
if
I
you
enjoyed it
watch
as
that
much
one
as-
because none of the other ones are as good as it, in my opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially the original one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original one was not.
That was
Great.
like a different thing than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Is Star Wars: The Next Generation the one with the like bald
Star Trek.
guy?
Yeah,
Star
Jean-Luc
Trek.
Picard,
Yeah,
the best
Picard.
captain.
Yeah, Picard was awesome.
Oh yeah, he is like
Huh.
by far the best captain.
Yeah.
On the
He isn't
topic
like
of-
some random space cowboy.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
He wasn't some random space cowboy, and like so many of the other ones, like Kirk was like a literal space cowboy,
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
going on doing whatever
So
wants.
what's the deal with that? Like, what separates the different TV shows? I know like different cast, but like,
Well, they basically each one of them generally, except for Deep Space Nine, takes place on different ship.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and they some of them like the timelines overlap and the characters sometimes overlap in them. Like O'Brien was on Deep Space Nine and Next Generation. Also, there are some like appearances of Deep Space Nine in Voyager, but they, in general, they just it's just different TV shows that take place at different times, like a couple of years apart, in the same universe. But like all the people know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
that new Star Trek series,
Mhm.
is that Next Generation?
What?
No.
No.
The one that's
Yeah.
current.
Yeah, I haven't watched the new one.
What's it called? Anyway, you probably know about it. I cannot remember what it's called. Anyway, Discovery, Star Trek Discovery.
Oh yeah.
It's really interesting because it covers, if you've watched only the Star Trek movies, you don't have a great sense of the lore of the Star Trek universe. But
You have
Star
to start
Trek
with Next
Discovery,
Generation and go forward.
yeah, Next Generation and Discovery, they have done some incredible world building with those two.
Absolutely.
And in Discovery to sort of see, because somewhat recently they changed up the flow of it. So they had this whole timeline going, and then I can't remember, but something went wrong, and their ship got thrown into a new timeline.
Yeah.
So now they're in a new timeline that's like, it's actually, I think, like 1,000 years in the future or something.
Oh wow.
So not quite a new timeline, but it's restarting the entire world, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah. I want to watch that now.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cool. Because didn't they make like try to make a few new Star Trek shows over the last few years, but
I think it was all Discovery, but they might have done some more because Discovery, it went downhill pretty bad, and then they did the timeline jump and it got better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. If you like Star Trek, I recommend it.
Pardon me?
I said if you like Star Trek, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah. I'd love to watch that.
Yeah.
Get more up to
I
date
know
with the Star Trek
nothing
stuff.
about Star Trek, so you
Okay,
guys.
just us being Star Trek fans, we could literally nerd out for like hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
anyway,
like I just find the thing so funny about how they try, because the original series is just so off from the rest of it. They try to find stuff to like justify it, like they travel to the past and like do this thing which cures the Klingons of this disease which takes away their forehead ridges, which explains why they don't look like Klingons in the original series. They're just dudes with like big foreheads.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, what else? There was something else that I had in my head.
Voyager is underrated in terms of Star Trek series.
I'm not sure if we're really reaching our audience here.
No, I feel like we're just in a nerd out session. We should probably move on.
Yeah, D&D.
Oh, I love D&D.
Dude, D&D is fucking awesome. I'm running a D&D game tonight, actually.
Oh, nice.
Actually, on that note of D&D, me and my buddy Trevor, we actually made our own D&D system.
Oh, seriously?
That was
That's sick.
So we used the stats, but essentially we wanted to make the combat really, really quick.
Oh yeah, because combat takes so long.
I definitely think combat could be improved greatly. I have a few ideas on how to do it, but I'm not good enough at Dungeons and Dragons to implement that into my games yet.
Yeah.
Basically, the combat system we did, every small fight is over within one turn. Every boss fight can be over within 1 to 3 turns.
Yeah,
if you
because
play it
there's
correctly.
things where it takes, like, I'm in a D&D campaign where there's like, like 1, 2, 3. There's like 9 people in it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
but then it's just like, it's sort of like a modification of like a vintage game system. It's a completely different format from almost all D&D.
what I do like
Combat
about
takes so long.
what I do like about D&D combat is there's a
Like a
very
battle, like a skirmish takes like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
yeah. What I've
I s-
always liked about D&D is that the combat is very you can make it work for you.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
It's a blank
Yeah,
canvas.
I like D&D because it's like a set of guidelines, and then you
Yeah,
can do
basically.
whatever the fuck you
Yeah.
want. What my thing that I think would make the game a lot more interesting would be to give everyone some sort of like legendary action ability, and like different classes get different legendary actions, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. And do you guys understand how legendary actions work?
Yep.
Yeah, so like maybe you get 3 reactions, just like your normal reaction, and you can
Yeah.
either use it for like whatever you can use your normal reaction for,
Yeah.
opportunity attack, that sort of thing.
Totally.
But then you can also like spend 2 to move 30 feet, or to, if you're a rogue, let's say, to take the dodge action,
Totally.
or that sort of thing. You can
Yeah.
like spend all 3 to take the dodge action, or to hide even, or something
Yeah.
like that, so that you can do stuff while the rest, because it's not just like, I've been in D&D campaigns where there's like 9 people,
Yeah.
and the entire fight I rolled like a nat 1
Mhm.
on my initiative, and so the
Yeah.
entire fight is like
Over before you
done.
can do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, I had an idea. A
What?
podcast D&D campaign.
I'd be down.
Fuck yeah.
Taser to you, Dungeon Master.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be
yeah.
so down for that. Like, recorded the sessions.
Hell yeah.
We could
Yeah.
even just start it off with something like quick and easy, like a 1
Yeah.
or 2 shot.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the system me and my buddy came up with, we wanted it to rely more on using the environment. So there's more interaction than there's in regular D&D. So rather than saying, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
dodge, or I'm gonna move, or I'm gonna
Like, I'm going
walk,
to duck behind a tree.
it's like, okay, I'm gonna climb up a tree to get out of the way of the attack. And that way, if
Like, using your mind more.
yeah, like if the big dumb slow enemy cuts down the tree, then I can jump on his head.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
and it wound up being really fun
Yeah.
because, like, to climb up a tree, you would do a dexterity roll.
Totally.
And if you get too low, then you try to climb up the tree, run into it, and get knocked out.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
this
I
one
mean, you can
campaign that I was
definitely
in.
still do that in D&D
Mhm.
games.
Yeah.
It just depends on the dungeon master.
Yeah, like
Like,
there's
I'd
this one,
fully
like I'm in
allow
a
you
Dungeon
to,
Master
like,
campaign where I would just, sorry to interrupt, but I would, so I have a character which is just this epic sort of elf guy, which is just, okay, so he is like a -1 on intelligence, but like every single upgrade I've done, I've just done it to strength. So it's just like this ridiculously strong elf guy, and just no defense at all, just a sword. But I tried to do like as the most elaborate, like complex, like jumping over a slide between their legs, stab up their bum, and like attacks ever. And sometimes if I like do it like so fancy sounding, the dungeon master will give me like an extra +2 for surprise or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Strategy.
like, I would let you climb up a tree and try and like grapple onto the the ogre or whatever. Totally.
Yeah.
That's
Jump on their
badass.
back. Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
And for like, if we do a D&D campaign, I may
love
need
that.
a hand with setting up characters and shit, because every time I've done D&D, it's not been straight up D&D. It's been some
I have
I'll-
done.
I can-
What edition would you be doing?
5e.
Oh yeah,
oh,
I've only really done 6th edition mostly,
There's a 6th edition?
or I might be wrong.
There's
I have
not a
not played
6th.
D&D. in a
Sorry,
while.
yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
let me
I'm
rephrase
not
that.
right.
There's
A
not a
4th edition?
6th
Fourth.
edition.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking this up.
5e seems to be like the most popular one,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
D&D.
But yeah, we would have to talk because it's a completely homebrew world,
Yeah.
so it's not like the Forgotten Realms. So you know, there's a bunch of stuff that we need to
fourth
talk
edition.
about.
Okay.
4th edition? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what I generally have played most. Yeah.
The reason me and my friend actually made the D&D idea was because we have we have this fantasy world we've been making for about a year now, and we thought it'd be fun to do a it's a single player run through for a piece of the world. So the way we compensated for that was by giving basically NPC characters. It's working out pretty well.
Yeah. I love making characters, dude. It's some of my favorite shit about Dungeons and Dragons. I've made some, dude. I've got a player character. I'm gonna be joining a new D&D campaign once one ends, and I made a player character, and I really like her. She's great.
Yeah.
She's a sorcerer warlock mix, and like a super powerful spellcaster. Hexblade warlock, so like super powerful. Kind of combat spellcaster, and she was born a sorcerer, and then like made a pact with this blade, this cursed blade. To her deal is that she fucking hates magic and everything about it. So she was born a sorcerer, but just despises magic. Just everything, just fucking burnt my hands on that fireball. God fuck. You know? That sort of thing.
I never do like characters that have that complex background. I should do that.
Oh, I love doing that.
I also like characters that just like the D&D campaigns, their background.
Yeah.
Like that.
They just kind of show up. They're just there, and it's like, I guess I'm here now.
I made a Dragonborn character once that basically at one point right before the campaign started, he got amnesia and thought that he was the Dragonborn from Skyrim. So he starts running into battle yelling Fusroda.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was once in a campaign where there's this one character which I remember as being one of the best characters I've ever seen in a campaign, which was a bard, but he is a halfling bard named Jeff, and he had a sitar, and when he played it, he could fly around. So just fly around like kicking people while playing sitar. It's the best.
I created probably the greatest character I've ever created, in my opinion, for a one-shot, and for some reason I used him for a one-shot. Basically, another Hexblade warlock. Warlock is my favorite class. And so I used this homebrew system, which was the awakened undead. So it's like a kind of a Build-A-Bear race where you can be like, oh, I want this sort of soul that awakens in these sort of bones, which gives you different stuff. So I used that, but flavored it to be an awakened scarecrow.
Oh yeah.
So his name was Mac. He was an awakened scarecrow hexblade warlock. He kind of talked like this. He was like, "Hooey, oh, that's not great."
You sound like Mater from Cars.
Yeah, a little bit, just kind of something like this, you know, that sort of thing. And his backstory, it gets better, because then like it works super well in the one shot. So his backstory is that he was a normal scarecrow that somehow gained sentience. He was not sure how. And he, you know, he enjoyed his life, very pleasant, scaring away crows off of the farmers' crops. And then this sword contacted him and was like, hey, you know, sell me your soul and I can give you unlimited power. And he was like, I don't really want unlimited power. Could you keep these birds off of my crops? And so he sold his soul for like normal warlock power and the fact that it gets better, and the fact that this plot of land will never have birds on it ever again, and so now it's like a bustling utopian like plot of land
No
that's
birds.
using this like eldritch magic to produce enough food for the entire village with no tending required. But then
Oh,
he
that's
was
amazing.
like chilling, and I mean, like his life's purpose is being done for him. What does he do now?
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything to do with his, and he realized like he got his life's dream, and it was, it made him feel sad. So now he's
Oh,
adventuring off
a new
to
purpose in life.
try and find the meaning of life. And so he's this scarecrow warlock that kind of talks like this, who's got a little bit of a thing against Eric Cochran and Kanku. He doesn't really like them very much. And
Oh,
so then he gets the D&D campaign starts, and he gets this letter which says, come meet me at my manor. We're going to have a party. He has no idea who this person is. So he's like, yeah, might as well. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't got anything better to do. Maybe I'll find my life's purpose here. And so he goes off, walks for months to reach this place, finds a group of other people, the rest of the party. They go in, approach this like burnt out manor in this middle of fucking nowhere village, and everyone begins disappearing.
Ooh.
As they succeeded on wisdom saving throws, and they saw the manor in its actual full glory, which was like a huge manor house. But Mac didn't have great wisdom, so he just kept failing until he eventually walked to the burnt out manor and then down the stairs into the basement before he finally succeeded and appeared there in the basement. I knew, but Mac didn't know, that everyone else had to go in through the front door, which means they had to go past the bouncer, which means that they had all their weapons taken away. I, on the other hand, did not. Was in the basement, heard someone coming, cast invisibility. A lady went and partially unlocked a door, and then she was like, no, it's not time yet. And so then I stole the keys off of her, unlocked the door fully, swung it open, and inside there's an elder god. And there's like a magical defense, and that's the only thing that's protecting the rest of the campaign. The rest of like the protecting him from escaping. And basically Matt goes, well, hey there, what's your name? And he goes, my name, super edgy, like elder god, my name is not known to many mortals. And then Matt goes, well, hey there, not known to many mortals, I'm back, how's it going? And yeah, and then like they begin talking, and eventually the super edgy elder god goes like, I was imprisoned here hundreds of years ago by this house, and I vowed my revenge against them. Will you
This is
help
the
me?
nerdiest episode of the podcast we've
for
ever
sure.
done.
But this is a fucking
This is our
excellent
true colors.
story.
Do you want to talk about how good our grades are?
Will you help me, kill the last remaining member of this house? And Matt goes, well, now, revenge seems good from the outside, don't it? But to really, like, make these feelings go away, it feels like killing this person will make these feelings go away, right? Right. And so, what will really make these feelings go away, because revenge doesn't really help, what will really make these feelings go away is opening the dialogue, talking with them, and just like, seeing their side of the story. And so he goes on through some really good and really bad persuasion checks to for one, start being the therapist of an elder god, and then convince him to open up a dialogue with the lady. And yeah, Mac was it. probably my favorite character of all time.
Oh, that is the best character ever.
Okay, I gotta jump in. It doesn't even come close to comparing to that. That's fucking amazing. But
Fucking Mac was. Oh, also I did.
Mac.
Sorry, just one more
Episode's
thing.
yeah,
from
yeah,
Mac.
go.
His name started as just Mac, and then during the conversation, not known to many mortals, which everyone just started. The DM started referring to him as not known to many mortals. He was like, well, oh, there's two more things that I have to mention about that conversation.
Yeah.
He started out as going like, if you release me so that I can get my revenge, I will give you your life's dream. And then Matt goes, well, I already got my life's dream, and it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. And and then later in the conversation, not known to many mortals goes, well, Mac, was it? And he was like, oh, Mac was it? Now, I hadn't given myself a last name yet, but that's, I don't mind that one. Actually, I think that I might go with that. And then I went and changed my name in Discord to Mac Was It, WUZIT. And yeah, so those are the two things. That's how he became Mac Was It.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
Awesome.
Love him. Love him.
Yeah,
That is fucking amazing.
Mac was it. That's
So
good.
basically, I had this creature at one point. A lot of my characters, like not creature. A lot of my characters wind up being based off of like some secret reference to lore, and so I had an orcish bard, and it was based off of a character in Skyrim called Lurbuck, who is the worst bard in the entirety of Skyrim. You've probably met him if you've gone on a tavern.
Maybe.
And basically, I was a psychologist and therapist. So anytime that we got into a town or like had to talk to a merchant, I'd go, and how do you feel about that? Maybe we should delve into this issue.
Yeah,
And
gotcha. Freud chair with you.
Yeah, and it drove people fucking insane because we'd sit down and like take a short rest, and I'd be like, is anybody feeling stressed or tired about today's battle? And anytime that
you can tell it's a good character when he kind of adopted after you've finished the episode of the campaign.
And basically I had this rhythm where anytime we would go to a shop or a tavern, I would ask for a discount. And anytime that I didn't get the discount, I would start singing horribly until they gave me the discount. And
that's awesome.
And I had to completely roleplay this, so I would just jump up with some random fucking song, like there's a pig and a hat and a pig, and they cut open the pig and they got out the hat, and just complete bullshit. And
radical.
At one point, the DM made a character, I cannot remember his name, but he was like a little goblin that would sit on my shoulder and basically grab my guitar off my back and whack me over the head with it whenever I wouldn't shut up. Because everybody got too fucking tired of my character never shutting up.
Nice. That reminds me of one thing, which is someone that does that in real life, basically. What he does is that he's been doing this for like 10 years, and he goes around in front of like office buildings and stuff like that, and plays the trumpet awfully until they pay him to go away. What a legend, am I right?
Yeah.
My dad actually like knows him, and dude, what a legend.
That is legendary.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've got some other...
imagine like being like a solo grindcore vocalist. You just pull up with a huge amp with just microphones like, and they just pay you to go away.
I've got some other really good
Acapella grindcore.
D&D stories if you want to hear them.
I think that this episode might be running a bit long, so maybe on the next one.
No, we should do our next episode if we record this again next week,
Yeah.
and just do our best D&D stories.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna have to sort of
I've got a
refresh my
couple
memory
more.
because
I
I was
think-
in a comedy steampunk campaign where we attached these giant robotic legs to a house to make it like the chicken leg house.
Oh yeah, Baba
And just all
Yaga's
this,
house.
yeah, and just all this stuff about how we're just so broke the entire time. So we just literally went around trying to make money, but we're just always got scammed out of it. So we're just broke the entire thing. And after we noticed that we rolled like 11 a bunch of times, whenever there's a random number, it was always 11 for the entire campaign. Like, there's 11 ogres. It's like you got 11 gold. It's like you lost 11 hit points. It was the best.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I played D&D with this one guy, but he wanted to have more arms,